This week, we watched The Black Phone 2, a 2025 horror thriller sequel directed by Scott Derrickson. So, initial thoughts. Were you excited for the sequel prior to it coming out? Like, were you super curious about what would happen?
I was excited. I do like the first movie. So yeah, I was excited for it.
I was too, but then I felt like they really overdid it with the advertisement. And then the more I saw it, the more I was like, well, now I feel like it's all like catchphrasey and we're just seeing it countless times over again. Like I feel like I've saw so much of the movie already in the preview.
Okay, I didn't really watch any of the marketing, so I did not have that problem, I suppose.
Well, you know how I am when I binge things, so certain platforms were showing the commercial for it a lot.
Got it. Okay.
So I was like, oh, now here I am repeatedly watching the same trailer.
Marketing, I won't go on my tangent about trailers and marketing, but chill.
Yeah.
Chill. I get it. I get you have to push your movie. I know you have to advertise for it, but like it's a sequel to a really popular movie. And honestly, truth be told, the only reason this movie was made is because the first movie did so well. So like you don't need to do this.
Yeah, just tell people there's going to be a second one. People will go.
Yeah, they will come. It's fine.
Right.
But
yeah, I have that complaint even with originals too. Like 30 seconds to a minute. Don't try to give me everything. I don't want to know.
Don't tell me. Honestly, I just need the vibes of the film. You can show me some scenes, no context. That's like some of the best marketing.
Right. But yeah, I feel like Longlegs was pretty good at doing that.
I was about to say,
yeah.
The whole reason I was dying to see this movie was the marketing.
Right. And then I think you'll recall when we saw it in theaters together, I was like panicking going and I was like, I'm upset.
I don't
even know what's going to happen, but I'm upset. Like
this is fair because it was very creepy. It was disturbing. And I was really excited to see something that could potentially freak me out.
Right. So do you think now that you've watched it that it was worth the hype and a good continuation to the original story?
No. Sorry. No. It was okay. It was like fine, but there's so many other things I would have done with this movie.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot more direction I think you could have taken. It felt so dream sequency, like every other second was a dream. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was more evenly distributed when Gwen wasn't the main character. And now Finn's like almost an afterthought in this one.
What I would have done. Can we talk about what I would have done to fix this?
Yeah, okay. Of course. That's our brand.
But like more so than ever, why did we focus on Gwenny? Like I liked her in the first one, but we could have delved into his trauma and everything he had to deal with after this. Like why did we pivot to her? Okay, first problem. Second problem is we see that Finney's getting calls still.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
Why did we not talk about that? Like, why did we
focus
not
on that? Yeah, like I want to hear the random calls that aren't related to this.
And like you could have still done the whole grabber thing from beyond the grave. I hate how they did it in this one. But like he tormented him, but it could have been just that. I feel like this movie delved way too far into the paranormal.
Yeah.
Like way too much. Like the first one had paranormal elements, obviously, because the kids were calling, but that's like where it kind of ended. This is a Nightmare on Phone Street. Like what is going on here?
Yeah. And they did take inspiration from it, but a little too much inspiration. Like there's a lot of Freddy Krueger movies. Why do we have to rehash this out?
Yeah. And the rules don't even make sense.
Yeah. That was another complaint I had with it. I even said, I can get Gwen being hurt while in the same plane as the grabber. But the grabber coming and hurting someone that is awake in the real world, I was like, that makes no sense at all to me.
And then Finney is able to grab him invisibly.
Yes.
So realistically, the only benefit you get to being asleep is you could see him. Otherwise, he could hurt you. You don't have to be asleep. You could hurt him. You don't, like, what are we doing here?
Why hasn't he killed everybody in this camp yet? Like, he's probably bored and...
100.
Ice hell. Like
I don't know. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So anyways, I think there were really cool moments. Don't get me wrong. Like just coming off the heels of the first one It just felt like they went way too far in a different direction.
Yeah. Well, going into what we thought the story needed / like what they went too far with, do you think this kind of movie would have benefited from having more of the grabber backstory included as to like what happened to him as a kid to lead him kind of on this path? Like, I know that they say one of the kids was his first kill, but we don't really know that for sure.
No, I don't need to know anything more about this man. I think what made him scary in the first one is how little you knew about him.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to connect this to Finney and his family. First of all, I hate that. Second of all, like, I don't need to know his past victims. I didn't like knowing more about him, I guess. In the short way, I don't think we needed to know any more about him.
Right. I guess I could appreciate that his past victims were also in hell because they never found their bodies. And that was sort of what was going on in the first movie. That's why they were getting the calls and everything. They were still with the grabber, essentially. So I guess that makes sense. I'll give them that. But I think maybe we would have benefited from like a grabber childhood backstory kind of thing, not like a full-fledged anything. But I thought with all of the intermixing of the dreams and the grainy flashbacks and everything with the mom, I was like, the mom doesn't need to be involved. She could have called and been like, Gwenny, I need you to do something, rather than like, she didn't have to be the grabber's victim. That's not definitely his MO either. Like, I know he can kill for convenience, but still.
Yeah. So I could see there being a grabber backstory. I've seen so many movies about like backstories of serial killers and how they become this way. I'm like, I don't care. Like,
yeah, it's not really going to matter.
Yeah. And I said I don't care about his past victims. That was not true. I think it'd be interesting to see his past victims, but not in the context in which this movie presents it. Again, the mom did not have to be involved. Like, because in the first movie, he's just a random victim of the grabber, right? Now you're trying to like tie it in. Like, what are the odds that
he would have grabbed the kid of the mom he killed like right after his first victim in the town? Like,
right. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, we did not.
And then it kind of like
this.
Confuses the timeline too, because you're like, how old were they when the mom died? So like, how long was he kidnapping kids? Like, was he doing this for 10 years? Because I thought Gwen was like 5 or something, like pretty small. So I was like, now I'm confused and thinking about the logistics of the first movie.
Exactly. Because now you're going back and you're thinking like, wait a minute. Because obviously he killed his victims at that camp when he was younger, like way younger. And then the mom somehow lives in the same town as him. And then she like rolls up to his house.
They were both at the same camp, I guess, working there. And I guess she put the pieces together once he kidnapped the paper boy. And then she kind of just went to his house to verify that it was actually true. But
why? Why are you doing that?
Once I saw her see the kid in the basement, I was like, so you're just telling me that the mom knew that he was a killer and said nothing. And then he got her right after. So I was like, okay, I guess. But if she would have had any sort of suspicion, why didn't she tell the police?
Yeah, I love how she pulls into his driveway, gets out of the car. Like, if you were going to sneak up to someone's house, why would you pull into their driveway, ma'am? That is not the way to do that.
Yeah, and then when Gwenny's retelling it to convince the dad that she hadn't killed herself, she says something about, then he came to our house and killed her. And I was like, well, it looks like he just grabbed her in the driveway of his house, but I guess maybe it changed because dream sequence rules, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, it doesn't really matter. Location.
Right. And to me, like, why would he be concerned with staging an unaliving, staging that at their house? Like, what? He could have just kidnapped her, killed her. Like, I don't know. Like, why it was, she's like, oh, I need to like cover my tracks. No one was onto you yet. So
right. And he killed his brother with like a lot less thought out, meticulousness. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same situation because the brother walks in and sees the kid and he's just like, axe to the head.
Yeah, and doesn't worry about that at all. So for him to bother going to their house to string up the mom and everything after he has killed her, I don't know, one, if that makes much sense, because then the dad could have found him, kids could have been awake. It just feels like a lot of weird risk. Like, and he could have had her dead anywhere.
Right. Like, we did not have to set up this elaborate thing.
I just think they work too hard to intertwine the stories.
Yeah, it did not. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it.
Yeah, which was funny too, because I have in a quote here that the whole reason Ethan Hawke even came back for this one, because he doesn't really care for sequels because he feels like they're money grabs. He was convinced to continue the story when Scott Derrickson pitched him a curveball. He had a really amazing idea to invert the lead of the film to follow Gwen and to follow them through trauma recovery. And Hawke says the whole first film is about young people growing up in an unsafe world where the grown-ups, the parent class, are incredibly disappointing and they have to take on responsibility for themselves. The second one had the really smart idea of saying, well, what happens after that? How do you recover from that experience? I feel like we didn't even really give a shit about Finney's trauma or anything. All we really know is what Gwen is saying to him. Like, he smokes a lot. He's becoming his dad. He's getting into fights at school. But we literally spend like 5 minutes with this kid.
Exactly.
That was the main character and would have had the most to do with the grabber. It just feels weird that the grabber is like, you made me kill my brother, so now I'm going to kill your sister. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that quote, none of that happened in this movie. We did not explore that. Gwenny's like, we need to uncover the past.
What's this?
Camp Alpine Lake. The camp Mom called from. We have to go there.
Gwen, stop this. It was just a dream.
Mom worked there. I'm not crazy.
Like, that was the argument. Not Finn dealing with his problems. Fuck Finn. She's like, well, let's go. No, this kid would have been... he's doing well for himself, all things considered. I'm just, like, I would have been just... I don't even know. But... And... to Gwenny, why?
Yeah.
That's not an amazing idea. That was a bad idea.
It didn't make me like her any better as a character. Like, in the first one, I thought she was cute. You know, she has like this whole little side story too while she's trying to figure it out. And I thought her little catchphrases, like her potty mouth, was charming and stuff. But now, since she's the main character, she has no like deeper personality than those traits. And what happened with Finney? Why isn't he Finney here? Like,
yeah,
like he almost barely didn't go on the trip.
Right.
Like, her and the boyfriend were going to go, or whatever his name was.
Oh my God. At least we got
Ernesto.
Yeah. Which is the brother of Robin. Like, why are we trying to connect that again?
Such a small town.
Yeah. There's like 5 people.
Yeah.
It must be 2 houses, 5 people. But yeah, I think the actress did a good job. I don't think she was good enough to carry this movie.
Right. Like I said, I found her really charming, like when she was like talking to the detectives and she was like, fuck you, asswad, or whatever she's saying, all kinds of weird shit. I don't feel like it was of the time, but at least it was, funny in the moment because it's a little kid.
Yeah.
But then when she's saying this stuff, like her killing blow is...
Oh, you're so fucked.
Hell isn't flames, Bill. It's ice.
Do we need to do like a little send-off quote?
No, you didn't. And she was just in the first one the smart aleck sidekick kind of character. And I feel like we could have still had her more involved in this one, but still focus on Finney and maybe the ghosts were coming to him again. Because again, he gets the phone call still. And when the grabber inevitably shows up, like she could still help Finney, but everything should still be happening to Finney.
Right. Yeah. Because I definitely think if that's the pitch Ethan Hawke got, that would have been a more interesting sequel of dealing with the trauma of that and then having to still deal with his ghost, because it does make sense that he would still be reaching out over the phone because that's what the ghost children were doing. So I think we could have really gone with that, like the trauma of like what's real and what's not, because, who's going to believe him if they're reaching out to him still after everyone's dead. So could have definitely been a little bit more about him. And plus, a lot of survivors in this situation in the original movies don't get a sequel that's based on their trauma.
Yeah.
And this wasn't really either. So
that would have been so much more interesting than
so
we got. No, we just got a half-assed Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff.
I also wanted to ask you about the violence, because The director even said that he kind of switched it from a crime thriller to like a horror thriller. Do you think, because I noticed at least that we never saw the grabber inflict any damage in the first movie, aside from the abducting of the children.
Yeah.
Just the aftermath of how his victims look after their death. Did this build suspense for you to see him like stabbing people? Did it him attacking Gwen, him attacking the other victims? Like, what do you think of that change?
So I think the suspenseful parts for me were more the dream sequences when we saw his past victims being chased or grabbed or that kind of a thing. The ending was kind of goofy to me, so it wasn't...
Because he was a good skater.
Not even, well, I know that didn't even bother me all that much. It was more just because the whole time I'm like, what are the rules here? Like, I was taken out of it because of just
the fact that he could kill people outside of that plane and stuff. Yeah.
I do think, I guess a little bit of spoiler, I probably did give this a suspenseful rating a little bit higher than maybe it could have been, but it tied into the atmosphere for me. Like, I think it did a good job building suspense, mostly because of the isolation and those background scenes, the past scenes. But by the end, it kind of fell apart.
Okay. For me personally, the only thing I thought was maybe a little suspenseful was when he first attacked Gwenny, because he didn't know he could, and he just shows up out of nowhere in her dream and he tries to put her in an oven, and I was like, oh, we're going Thanksgiving with this. And but then, that's pretty much put to bed. Also, we realized the ghost can hurt Gwenny, and I was like, why do ghosts want help if they're going to hurt her? Like, it doesn't seem really logical.
The only thing I could think of, and to defend the movie, maybe, but the longer people are dead, the more they forget, and they say, the good parts of you are stripped away. So maybe while they're asking for help, they're kind of not all themselves. They've been dead for a long time. So
yeah, true.
Maybe they just are violent in nature just because of what they went through, and that's all that's left of them. So
okay, I could give it that. But I definitely didn't give a very high suspense rating with this because I think the stabbing, violence stuff just wasn't the tone of the first movie, which made it really suspenseful for me because, one, it's a little kid and he's with like the worst possible man he could be with, and you're always wondering when that other shoe will drop and he'll beat him or something. So when we see that violence, it kind of takes away that suspense that he'll hurt him eventually. And I think they wanted to take more liberty with that because the main characters are older and it's more like teen slasher rather than what the original was going for. But yeah, I just didn't like the change in the vibe.
Yeah, I think even though they show that violence, I think getting there, especially again, like I said, more in the dream sequence parts is where the suspense is. And like none of our living people die or really... No, none of them die. They get hurt, but that's about it. Yeah. Not that someone has to die for it to be suspenseful, but it was just interesting that everyone makes it out in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And he's literally was quoted as to saying playing like evil incarnate or the definition of sin. So I was like, it doesn't feel that sinful if you can't kill anybody. Like,
no, did you even try?
Right.
Did you even try? Sir, no, because the one part that was weird to me is Mondo. Was that his name?
Mustang's dad.
Yeah.
Camp
Mustang's
counselor
dad.
Mondo. Yeah. Okay.
So he's like setting up the lake to like look for the bodies, and he skates on by, and the grabber breaks the ice for him to fall through. I'm like, or you could have just killed him.
Right.
Could have just like stabbed him.
He was in the water a very long time. I will say that. I was like, I'm very surprised that this man is up the next day ready to go back at it. So I will give it that. But I was also like, if you do have the capability, why leave it to chance?
Exactly. I'm like, okay, let's go that route. Are you trying to make it look like an accident? Because again, why? You're dead.
Right.
You're a freaking ghost.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. There's no repercussion.
It's not like you're going to go to jail, sir.
Right.
I don't know.
So going back into the dream sequences and flashbacks, what did you think of the muddy, grainy quality used between what was happening in real life versus
Yeah.
what's happening in this dream plane.
Yeah, so I think that was the best part of the movie, to be honest. I think it happened a little too much, but in terms of the scarier parts of the movie, it was those. I don't think you've seen Sinister.
It's the same director, right?
Yeah, it was like the same concept. That's where the scariest parts for me are. Just the atmosphere that's built by that, the sound design, the using the Super 8 film, all that stuff. I think that's like some of the best work in this movie, to be honest. What about you?
Yeah, I think it looked cool. We watched this with Matt, and Matt was like, "Why didn't you just film it like this the whole time?" And I was like, "I'm kind of glad they didn't because I can't really make out anything that she's looking at in the distance."
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess I like the switch. It just happened too much.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, here we are again.
Yeah. I mean, they did in the first one, and I think that was it's a good visual cue to separate the dream world.
Yeah, but they used it more sparingly in the first one, where it didn't feel like it was just time for another flashback because she's asleep. Like
exactly. Yeah. So they used it too much, but I did like it. I thought it was a good way to separate that out. So a little less would have been nice, but I still thought it was cool.
Okay. What did you think of the ghost of the grabber?
I think it made him so much less scary than the first one.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of them were just working off of catchphrases. Like, hell's not fire, it's ice. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Sure. I mean, that's neat, but not for this movie, you know? Like in the first one, I kind of already said, we know so little of this man. He's just a creepy serial killer guy. Like, that's more realistic, makes it scarier off the bat for me. Now he's like this ghost coming back, which I don't think him being a ghost is bad necessarily, but it's all the dream stuff. And then it was just too much. It made him like a goofy villain to me.
Yeah. Every time he showed up, I was like, oh man, this guy.
Yeah, not him again.
And really, it's like night and day difference for me from the original, because every time I saw him on screen, I was like holding my breath in the first one. I was like, oh, it's going to happen finally. And just the terror of it all, especially like when Finney escapes the one time, but he gets pulled back. I was very upset during those moments. This one did not have that at all.
No, because he's more of an outlandish, I'm trying to find the right word.
He's more of like a caricature of himself.
Yeah, like he's over the top.
Yeah.
And it was more subtle in the first one, which made it unsettling.
Yeah, he didn't even do his like little freaky poses with his face mask or anything. I was like, I feel like that's very him coded.
Right. And then at one point he takes the bottom piece of his mask off and his like mouth is all decayed. I'm like, I don't even care. It's scarier to put that mask back on than trying to show you like a zombie decayed. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, scary. I can't even tell what's going on under the mask anymore.
Right.
Just so decrepit, whatever. Just mush.
Yeah. You were better with your mask, like scarier with your mask on. So.
Right. And we never saw him transition the mask in the original, too. Like, he would just come into the room another time and it would be a different mask. It wouldn't be like now I'll swap it to this one kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's more like questions about it. Like, why? Oh, that's weird. Now it's just like, well, now he's like a demon. So that makes sense.
I guess. So what did you think about that one scene with the grabber and Gwenny, the kindness that he says he's giving her by showing her what actually happened to her mom?
You look like your mother.
Why is she in here?
A kindness, really? To you, I mean, a kindness to you.
Kindness?
The kindness here is me showing you the truth before I do what I have to do.
Do you think that fit his character or was even needed?
No. No, it wasn't. No. Short answer, no. I don't get it. I don't know why there was this big revelation. Like, it just wasn't.
Yeah. And then
needed.
plus he had her trapped in his van in the dream, so could have just killed her right then and there and no more storyline.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it was just a way to gloat. Like, haha, I'm actually the one who did all this.
Yeah,
Eat shit.
exactly.
Otherwise, there's really no reason.
He said it was a kindness to her before he had to do what he has to do. I guess because he doesn't kill girls, so he didn't feel like obligated to kill her, but he already had tried to attack her once, so
he's full of shit. He was not being kind. No, he was just
right.
No, you lie.
Yeah, and I just hate that he breaks from the pattern too. Like, why did he go after Ernesto? Ernesto is a younger boy that would have been one of his victims or something like that, age-wise. So
yeah, he just wants the revenge on Finney. That's all this is, and that's so not interesting. A revenge story? That's what we went with.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, thank you.
Especially for the brother of it all. Like, you made me kill your brother. He didn't make you do anything. Like,
he didn't do it. No, your brother walked down and you did a sloppy job. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't have to kill him.
Don't capture kids when your brother's visiting.
Finney was held victim. He didn't do it.
Right.
That was goofy.
Very goofy. Do you like the shift in like the main characters from, it was kind of like the father being kind of absent or / abusive and drunk, and the kids playing off of, you know, what happened before Vinny's abduction and kind of the aftermath of it, to now it's like a psychic mother and daughter connection. Like, Gwenny's asked to continue what the mother couldn't finish. Like,
no, dumb. I mean, we obviously saw that she had powers in the first one. But no, we didn't need any of this.
Yeah. I also think she might have been too powerful in a way. Like, just the frequency of the dreams. The fact that she can kill the grabber in her dreams. It felt like a little too much of what we were going off of in the first one. Just seemed like she was psychic. But she also had to work for it. Like, she also had to pray a lot to Jesus to give her any sort of clues about Finney. And now Jesus is like, well, here's the whole lot.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
make do with what you want.
Unless it wasn't actually him. Like, who knows if it was just... It's not definitively said one way or another, but...
Yeah.
So at the end, the mom calls using the black phone and talks to Gwen. What were your thoughts on that scene? Because I have opinions.
I think it would have been more impactful if, like, there was an inciting call with her mom and closing the chapter, kind of end of the movie, kind of call with her mom, rather than there being, like, so much intermittent flashbacks with the mom, finding out how she died, all that, and finding out that she went to the camp. And I think it would have been more impactful if she wouldn't have been so involved in the storyline throughout. So it was like, oh, well, Gwen and Finn can just talk to their mom whenever's.
Yeah. Well, she did call at the beginning.
Right. Well, I'm saying that's fine. Both calls, beginning and end, fine. But the middle is what my issue is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought it was dumb. Well, it was like sweet, but okay, first she's like, it was still creepy as shit. So part of it was like, that's not really her. It was just really bizarre. Yeah. And then she's like, tell Finney I say hi. I'm like, why don't you want to talk to your son who also went through some really crazy shit?
Right. Finn could probably use your comfort now. Also didn't say anything about the dad, and the dad thinks that it's his fault that you unalived yourself for 10 years and had a severe drinking problem. I guess we just don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah. No, just Gwenny. Like, tell him I say hi.
Love you, baby.
Yeah, I was like, what are we... Silly. I thought it was weird.
Okay.
So I was just curious if you liked that kind of ending where we get to hear from the mom again, but
I don't remember who said it, but I saw someone comment online that the end with only Gwen being able to hear the phone ring and not Finn, as if like everything is solved for him, is kind of Polar Express like.
I don't know.
Like, only Gwen. Oh, at the end, the kid receives a bell to prove that Santa exists, and he can like hear it ring because he wasn't a believer until he went on the Polar Express. So then he hears the bell ring, even though all of his family members grow up and they can't hear it anymore. But since he had this experience, he can always hear it ring, even when he's an adult.
Gotcha.
So now Gwenny can always hear her mom whenever.
Finn is not cured. If anything, he has more trauma.
No.
So good job.
Right. Let's rehash it out, that the fact that the ghost of the man that tortured you can come back and kill you in death. So.
Yeah. Lovely. Love that.
Can't wait for the 80s version of therapy for that.
Not helpful.
So we're going to rate each aspect 1 out of 3 and total that all to get our overall scary rating. Alex, what did you have?
I gave plot a 1 out of 3, suspense a 1 out of 3, atmosphere a 3 out of 3, villain a 2 out of 3, and I did not give it my extra special point. So I got 7. The one to note I just wanted to talk about was atmosphere. I think this is the one aspect of the movie where it shines. So I did want to give it its kudos with that. I think it's incredibly creepy in setting, but also sound design, visuals, lighting, all that stuff that goes into atmosphere. Because a lot of times, I know we talk about it, it's like we usually just talk about the location, but everything in this movie really lends itself to the atmosphere.
Fair enough. Honestly, you might convince me to give it another point because I had plot a 1, suspense a 1, atmosphere 1, and villain 2, and I did give it my extra special point. So that's kind of low. It's a 5.
That's 1 point above Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It just wasn't scary to me. Like, I really am adamant about the whole keeping those kills and like the violence shielded from us in the first one made it 10 times more suspenseful for me about what all was happening to them. And then like the ghost seeing the aftermath when they came to Finney for help. So now that we see how they died and there's all that specifics and stuff, I was like, okay, here he goes again. He's going to kill another kid. And then that ghost is going to bother him too.
Okay.
But yeah, I should give it more points though to the atmosphere. I think because to me, I didn't even know there was such thing as winter camp. So I was like, that's dumb. But apparently that is a thing. And I just wasn't aware.
You silly.
I'm not outdoorsy. So obviously I missed the mark.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. The atmosphere is like the best part of this movie, but everything else.
I think I was almost holding the quotes against it because of the whole like hell isn't fire, it's ice, and I'm gonna freeze you. I don't know. It just
nailed it. Could you imagine the Maverick skates up? Hell isn't fire. I don't know. It's cold. That's basically what you just did.
That's exactly the line verbatim.
Stephanie, it would be very scary if she came back to kill you. Hi, I'm fucking cold, you know. I guess I'll kill you. It's spooky.
Oh, I guess the director, too, wanted to bring the whole idea of hell being a cold place that all comes from Dante's Inferno and the old literature for philosophy students and his love for the Inferno. I just think that the idea of the grabber being the worst of the worst and coming from the ninth circle of hell where people are frozen in ice is a compelling idea. We quote the Inferno later with abandon all hope, ye who enter here. All that's all part of the tapestry of the cold in this movie. So I'll give it another point just to raise it up a little bit. I just think...
To atmosphere?
Yeah.
So you're going to give it a 2?
Yeah, I'll give it a 6 in total. So.
Okay, it's a little bit more. I mean, it's not a very scary movie, all things considered. But I think that, again, it was one of those situations where the individual elements somehow... raise it up a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, when they were showing the grainy kills in the beginning, it was a little bit suspenseful seeing them run in the snow and everything, but the violence was like, oh. So we're just completely abandoning what we did in the first one immediately.
Yeah. Not anything like the first one. So if you really like that one, maybe you'll like this one. I don't know, but just don't go in expecting more of the same because it's not. For worse this time, I feel.
Right. And I looked online. It hasn't been greenlit yet, but Ethan Hawke wants to do a prequel of The Grabber or something to have like a third movie.
Okay, that might be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it did well in the box office, so who's to say? Maybe they will, but it definitely just wasn't for me.
Yeah, no. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, and you could always use the comments and let us know what movies you like us to watch, but also let us know your thoughts on this movie as a whole. I'd be curious if you were a fan of Black Phone 1. Did you like Black Phone 2? I need to know.
Yes, please do. I'm really curious of who really liked the Switch. Just incessantly curious about why that works for you.
Yeah.
But you can follow us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.